What's going on, Giants fans? I'm Giant Opinion Sports, and today we're going to talk about Dexter Lawrence. Now, I think you could make the case that Dexter is the best player on the Giants defense right now in this moment. He's really been an underrated player since he was drafted, and it feels like he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves. The narrative around Dexter has been very frustrating for me. I've heard some fans bashing him, just saying he's average at best, the Giants shouldn't have picked up his fifth-year option. Just all kinds of nonsense. He wasn't even, I've heard some fans say he's not even worth a first round pick. So it's just silliness. I get it. Some people look at the whole deal through the Odell Beckham trade lens, and Dex plays a position where the stat sheet isn't gonna do him justice. But Dex has come in here and opened up a lot for other players on the team. First, he's been a huge help for Leonard Williams, eating some of them double teams up and opening up for him. And what he does for the linebackers is just invaluable. Go ask Tay Crowder what Dexter does for him on this defense. When you have defensive tackles like the Giants have, you don't need to go out and spend big money and sign a top flight middle linebacker. Listen, every part of the team, it's a trickle down effect. You help the edge rushers, especially on pass rush plays, because he's getting good push right up the middle. Quarterbacks have less space to avoid them edge rushers and step up in the pocket to make passes. It also helps your corners. You don't need that extra man or two in the box to stop the run. That frees up more guys to be able to go back in coverage. I'm just saying all this to explain his value. If I was Joe Shane, I don't care that he's under contract for next year on the fifth-year option. This offseason, I'd sign him long term. The longer you wait to do this deal, the more expensive it becomes. If you drag it out like the Leonard Williams deal, we saw kind of what we got stuck with. So I'm just saying, get it done. He's a guy I want the Giants to build around. Right now, through the first quarter of the season, Dex has a 90 PFF grade. That's like fourth the best in the NFL for defensive tackles. Just to put it in perspective, Aaron Donald has an 88.4 PFF grade. So it tells you where his play is at the moment. Now, obviously, PFF isn't the end-all, be-all, but it is objective. It's not a subjective thing. And it just kind of gives you an idea of just how well he is playing right now. I think it's unfortunate it took this past game against the Bears for people to really recognize how great of a player he was. He did have 8 pressures. And Justin Fields is a hard guy to sack. He got him twice now. That's not easy. Dexter is a big guy. He can move for a big dude, though. And he got them 8 pressures without Leonard Williams, which is even more the impressive. Obviously not saying this is going to happen, but, Dex is on pace for 8-9 sacks and 60-plus total tackles this year. So, enough is enough. It's time Sexy Dexy gets the respect he deserves. He's not average. He wasn't a bad pick. He is awesome and a dominant player. Listen, he's on pace for 30 quarterback hits. That's insane for a defensive tackle. That's up there with the best in the league. It isn't just this season we're seeing it either. Last season, he had as many quarterback pressures as Leonard Williams on the team. He's been this guy for a while now. And on a side note, I swear this guy gets held as much or more than anybody in the NFL. Outside of a few games to start last year, he's been dominant. There's no other way to say it. There's no other way to describe it. And I don't know if he was dinged up for a little stretch to start last year or what, but I think it's become apparent to everybody that this guy is one hell of a player. I'd like to see him step up and become a leader on the defense. That's the only thing that I feel that's really left for him at this point. And I think he'll get there. We saw the comments by Wink Martindale. Wink said he's his favorite player he's ever coached. Now, that's high praise. Wink's only been here for 5-6 months. So that's crazy for him to say something like that. That just tells you all you need to know about Dexter's character and what kind of player he is. I wanted to make this video because he deserves to receive some praise. Honestly, Dexter isn't being talked about enough. National media hasn't really picked up on him yet, but he deserves national attention. I think he'll be a Pro Bowler this year, and the credit will come. It feels like it's harder for a player to catch on here lately in New York. The team just hasn't been good, so I kind of get it. It feels like everybody just wants to trash the team and all the players and make memes or whatever people do nowadays. But if you're a fan, a Giants fan and you're just catching on right now or lately how good of a player Dexter Lawrence is, do yourself a favor and watch him exclusively on the defense when he's on the field. It is pure entertainment. He just manhandles offensive linemen. It's unbelievable. They just have no shot when Dex gets moving. So lock this dude up this upcoming offseason, and the New York Giants will have 2 premier defensive tackles for the foreseeable future. If Kayvon and Aziz progress like we think they can and will, the Giants could have the best defensive line in the league in a season or 2. That's no joke. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Giants fan. That's what I want for this team. I want us to get back to what we were. That's how we won our last 2 Super Bowls. Honestly, it's how we won our last 4, all of them. Defensive lines that just allow you to compete against premier quarterbacks. It is what it is. So sign Dex now. You ain't got to worry about not having the money to pay your edge guys. It's all good. It's just perfect time. Safe, stay warm.